Well, this is Steve Ridgel and sometimes Remy, and I want to talk to you this morning about my friends Myra and Vanessa and how they came to be born again. Myra is the mom, Vanessa's her daughter. Um, Myra will tell you that for a long time they didn't go to church. She kind of believed in God and she would pray some, but she didn't raise her kids in church the way now she wishes she had. And I really appreciate Vanessa because she's one of the few people I know open enough to talk about mental health struggles. And so life was kind of hard for them. And they moved to Abilene several years ago and they decided they needed to go to church. And so they started looking for a church home. And as they looked for one, they tried several places, found one they tried for a while, but they just really, um, it was hard for them to feel accepted. It was hard for them. They wrestled because people didn't reach out to them very well, and they're really sweet about it. They will say, "We're not blaming that church. Maybe people tried, and who knows." But they decided they needed to find somewhere else to try to get closer to Jesus. And they lived over near Hillcrest, and they would drive by and they would say, "I wonder about that church. I wonder about that church." And they were trying to figure out if they wanted to come visit. Didn't know anybody at Hillcrest. One day, Vanessa got on Google and just Googled churches. And for some reason, Hillcrest is the first one that popped up. Didn't know anything about Hillcrest, didn't know anybody at Hillcrest. But she told her mom, she said, "Hey, what do you think about this church?" And mom said, "That's the one we've been talking about. Let's go." And so they showed up. Vanessa and Myra showed up one day at Hillcrest. Didn't know anybody, just walked in. And of course, because we pray consistently for God to bring us people looking for Jesus. And so, of course, somebody shows up, we meet them. We almost overwhelm them. And so they get meted and greeted, and they get invited to the ladies' class, and they start coming to ladies' class. And so they're coming regularly to church. They get involved in our seeker class that our preacher Nathan teaches, and Marcia and I are in there a lot. And so we begin to get to know them that way, and they're enjoying worship, and they keep seeing videos or keep seeing people who are live being baptized. And they're watching that and they're hearing us talk about following Jesus and what Jesus does. And Vanessa, after a year or so, she really wanted to get involved with the young adults, and she had met some of them, but it's hard for her socially interacting. But Jack Hardcastle, one of our ministers, his wife Susan one day asked her, said, "Why don't you come tonight to our young adult life group?" He said, "Our house, we'd love to have you." And she did. That was a hard thing for her. But of course, then she found out everybody's just like her. The struggles may be a little different, but everybody's got them. And so she became an integral part of the young adult program. Myra's involved at church. And so about a week or so ago, they made the decision that they too wanted to be born again and fully embrace Jesus and follow Jesus. And as Vanessa phrased it, she said, "I'm tired of treating Jesus like an appetizer. I want the full meal. I want to be all in, and I need to be baptized." Her mom, Myra, phrased it a little different. She just said, "I got to be all in with Jesus. That's what I need to do, and I'm ready." And so one Thursday afternoon, several people came up. It was really sweet because Vanessa didn't want to do it in front of the church because social anxiety. And listening to her talk, I was just overwhelmed by what Jesus is doing with her. And listening to Myra, it was so sweet. And part two to that, which I'll talk about and maybe in the next video you see, part two to that is Daniel, Myra's son, Vanessa's brother, was also baptized that same day. And I will tell you that story in another video. But for now, Vanessa was really brought to Jesus by a group of young adults who cared. And Myra was brought to Jesus by a whole church that cared.